And here we are. Good afternoon, everyone, our YWCA viewers. This is Series 1, Episode 24, I believe, of The Butterfly Effect, sponsored by Club 1888, a YWCA volunteer program, and we love them. They're awesome. This is an empowerment series where volunteers interview inspiring women in our community. Today we have, drumroll please, the lovely, the fabulous, the amazing, the undeniable Madelyn Thorne. Welcome, Madelyn.
Thank you, Kim. How nice to see you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
You're welcome.
Thank you to the YW for hosting this. What a great program to bring to everybody. Thank you.
Fun. And maybe next time we're going to do another series. You could be a host as well. So you could even ask questions and host people. So this is a lot of fun, and we've had, lots of great conversation back and forth with a lot of different amazing women in our community.
I'm learning
today,
a lot. I'm learning a lot in the
spotlight.
So thank you. I'm learning a lot. It's fun to see this different perspective from some of the women that we know and that we get to work with.
Yeah.
It's nice to go a little bit deeper. Yeah,
exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, since we want to go a little bit deeper. I know who you are, I know where you're from, but why don't you share with our viewers today what it is that you do?
Well, currently I am the executive director of Habitat for Humanity of Schenectady County. And for those who don't know, our mission is to help working class first-time home buyers achieve that first home. And we make it affordable by utilizing mostly volunteer labor. We also have a wheelchair ramp program that is very successful. We support our mission not only through donations, which are always appreciated, but also through product donated to our restore. So that's pretty much the mission. Basically, I'm an old hippie. I'm a feminist. I'm a liberal. I believe in the WISE mission deeply, and I have a lot of respect for it. I'm a mom and a grandmom and a wife, all of those things, own a house. And I do a lot of volunteering. A lot of people give me credit for that, but really I do it because it's something I really enjoy. I believe in it. And if you're volunteering for good organizations and with good people, you're meeting the best people and you're having great conversations. So as much as I might get, like I said, some credit for that, I'm doing it purely for selfish reasons. It's just that I enjoy hanging with people and helping my community. It's fun. It's all good stuff.
So you get just as much back from doing it than in what you give.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. More. Yeah.
And now, are there any people or volunteers or staff that you want to give a shout out to, or talk a little bit more about how that all works?
Our staff here at Habitat is, I get working with the best people. I'm very lucky that we're a lucky organization, have so many great people that are working with us, paid staff. And then, of course, the volunteer corps for Habitat. They're great, amazing folks. When you think that on a Saturday or on a Wednesday, you could be doing anything in the world, and they're carrying construction material and painting walls and putting in plumbing systems and doing electrical work. I think one of the reasons that I am not cynical about our world, even with so much going on, is I every single day see the best side of people. And then, of course, Kim, if I may, the families that come to Habitat and say, I'm ready to come out and I'm ready to invest in myself and I'm ready to completely change the trajectory of my life. They're inspiring to me every minute, every day.
The work we do really revolves around our clients. It's what we do to support and give voice or give action or give strength to, and see them just take off, right? That's exactly the whole reason for it.
Yes.
And we see it here. We want to thank Habitat again for our accessibility ramp, because that was a partnership that we worked together on. Yeah. And now our building is accessible, when for 20, 30 years, we didn't think there was a way. Habitat made it happen. So thank you.
And if I could do just a little shout out, because that ramp up program is totally supported by YWCA, the brothers and sisters of that amazing union. And we couldn't provide that as steadily as we can without that strong support. And I'm really proud to share this, and this is kind of hot off the press. YWCA is going to start bringing the Ramp Up program, which started here in Schenectady, and bring it around the country.
That's awesome.
Because we're great. Because Habitat's great, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Habitat rocks. So, but we're not just here to talk about Habitat. We're here to dive into the psyche of Madelyn Thorne.
Oh, good, great.
Here we go, girlfriend.
Going down a black
so we're going to talk about inspiration. Who inspired you when you were a young wee girl?
When I was a young girl, I would say I was an avid reader. I was always an avid reader. And I tended to migrate to the books that were about strong women. I remember being inspired by the biographies of women like Amelia Earhart or Eleanor Roosevelt or Florence Nightingale. And I really did choose those books, not really purposefully, but that's just where my interests lie. Women that were not doing what the women in my neighborhood were doing, and women that were opening and were brave. And I think that helped me a lot to gain confidence that women could do what they chose to do. And then this might sound a little silly in this day and age, but Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew was a character that
I knew you were going to say that. And then I was going to say, do you know that there's a whole new series out? There's episodes and they're coming out and it's on the CW. So you have to watch it because it's so great.
Right. So it was Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
There was no other character like her where she was kind of hip and, you know, she was on her own and she had a really good female friendship that was not a rivalry friendship. Yep. And she had a boyfriend, but he was kind of in the back room and he never rescued her. He never came to her. She did it. So
she rescued him a number of times.
Right. So it was, you know, it was an interesting thing. And I think that helped inspire me that life's full of possibilities.
Yes, it is. You can do it.
Never go into that cave, man, because
that's right. Don't go in the cave.
Nancy Drew into the cave. God only knows.
So talk about people who you would consider your mentors.
You know, both of them were local women. Both of them have sadly passed away. Karen B. Johnson was a huge mentor to me, as was Esther Swanker. And the thing that I took away from both of them was just do the work. Do the work. They were women who were born to very advantageous circumstances. Both of them were financially secure. They could have been ladies who lunched. They were not. They were both women that rolled up their sleeves, got involved in projects. They gave back to the community in an enormous way. They helped so many organizations. I clearly remember, I did a lot of work with Karen on the Kids Art Fest. And I clearly remember it was a stinking hot day. It was June. It was 90 degrees, high humidity. And the vendors at Kids Art Fest needed to have some water. And Karen Johnson comes walking down the street carrying a case of water. She could have sent any of us to do it. Just didn't. She just did the work. And you take that away when you're around her. You say, okay, so that's the answer. Right. The answer is you do the work. And if I could tell another story about Karen, if you wouldn't mind.
Not at all.
There was a time when my mom was dying and my husband had a stroke. And they were literally bouncing in and out of the hospital. They were nicely taking turns at it, but they were going in and out of the hospital. I was working. I had hit a wall. I was done. And I happened to see Karen at a meeting. And she said, you look tired. And I said, well, this is what's happening. My mom is dying and she needs a lot of care. And now my husband's just had a stroke and trying to figure out what he's going to do. And she just said, Kim, she didn't give me any like sugarcoating on anything. It was just like, well, when this is over, make sure you give yourself a vacation because you're really going to need it. So the message was, first off, it was going to be over. That was a big message. I had to hear that it was going to be over. But until it was over, I had to just keep on keeping on. And she knew I was going to be able to do it. Yep. She didn't doubt it.
Right.
And she will never know what that did for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So it gave you the strength knowing there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I needed somebody to tell me that. But I also needed to hear that I could get through this, and that she wasn't going to be like, oh, what do you need? Or how can I help? That she was going to say, you're strong enough to handle this.
Right. So I carry that with me. It's like that faith the faith that she had in me stays with me today. I know there's things I can take on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And two amazing women, both supportive in many ways of the YW as well. So we know we have that same feeling in our hearts when we hear those names and speak them. How did you come to the job you're in now? So like, let's go way back. Like, did you work at the roller derby? Did you sell ice cream? Like, what were some of your jobs that you had? Because I want to know a little bit more about that. Like, I worked at Arby's.
I was a Friendly's waitress. When I was 18 or 19 years old, I was a Friendly's waitress. I made a heck of a gym dandy. I will tell you that. So I did. I started off my working career just an office worker. I mean, not to say just an office worker, but there was really I was earning a paycheck. I wasn't looking at a career. I was paying the bills, and that was fine. And meeting nice people and doing good work, and had an apartment and a car, and then bought my own house, and everything was fine. And an opportunity presented itself to go into sales in the offset print industry. I don't want to get too weedy about how that came about, but a door certainly did open for me. So I was the first woman selling products to printers in upstate New York, in the Northeast. And it was everything you can imagine. There were literally print shops that I walked into that had never had a woman on the print shop floor. High heels had never walked across the floor. Right. So it was the entire mix of people being over patronizing, women not knowing what to do with me. They had never seen this person, men not knowing how to talk to me. The vast majority didn't care. They just wanted their product. But there were a number, you came across the guys who were just going to make it hard. I was told in no uncertain terms in a couple of accounts, I will never buy from you. I will never buy from you. I went through all of that to the point where when I first started trying to watch Mad Woman, I couldn't watch it because it was all so real and brought back a lot of stuff that I didn't want to remember. But I had the chance to make a lot more money than I would have made. I was able to take care of my family differently and better because of that. And so I went in industrial sales for a long time. I was a salesperson in the print industry and the document imaging industry. And I started to become more involved in my community through volunteer activities. I was asked to sit on the board of Habitat. I did that. And then after a few years, the executive director left the position. I was asked to step in as interim. I really thought I would be here about 6 months. I've been here 6 years. And I will say this to share this with the folks that are listening. I was never, how can I put this? I was never really qualified for any of the jobs I accepted and took. The steps that I took that increased or that I grew with the most were leaps of faith in myself. So I would advise anybody, say yes before you say no.
Because we've heard many times on these conversations is learning how to say no. But the flip side is say yes when you may have the inkling, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I don't have the skill.
Correct. Say yes. You got it. You have it. You just don't know you have it yet.
Okay.
But you have it.
So this kind of leads into our next question, which is how does your identity as a woman play a role in your industry? Which you talked a little bit about the print industry where it was nobody had seen this before. So how does being a woman play a role for you now?
For me now in this role, I think there's an understanding of how a house, what a house means to a family. And I think I bring that to the table. I understand how a home should be set up. In the not-for-profit world, I do think many of the not-for-profits are run by women because of that social aspect to it, the social service aspect to it, I should say. So that part of being a woman plays into it. Now, I'm also in the construction industry. We're building houses, so I'm out of my depth with that. So as a leader, I know that I'm relying on other experts to bring their gifts to the table that make sure the whole project is running well. So understand that you don't need to know everything to do it all. Rely on the people that know what they're doing, and they'll have your back if you have their back.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So what advice would you give looking back to your 21-year-old self, or young women today? What advice do you give them besides say yes when maybe you want to say no? What else you got, Madelyn?
Well, go for the big job. Go for the big one. Don't limit yourself to, I'm going to be the finance person, or I'm going to be the development person, or I'm going to be an office person. If you want the big job, go for the big job. Women often will go for maybe even the executive level, but we don't go for the C level. Just do it. You'll be fine. They'll be fine. Have faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I
also know that if you fail,
sure,
really kind of okay. I mean, I have failed often, or started down a wrong road, and that wasn't where I should be.
Right.
And here I sit at 67 years old, having the time of my life. It all works out.
Right.
Don't be so nervous about stuff. It all works out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great advice. So what is, talk about, I just talked to you about advice you would give your 21-year-old self, but other advice for women, or is that pretty much, the same? Or is there anything else that for women in general, what should they be thinking of in 2021 about how they should frame their lives?
I'm reticent to get too far into that
Sure.
because that would imply that I had a plan. And I never had a plan.
Okay.
It was always doing what I wanted to do, having fun while I was doing it, testing myself. And believe me, at no time, as much as I'm saying it has always been great support, great friends. If I'm proud of, let me say this, treasure your friendships. If you have good friends, hold on to them with both hands. The friendships that you build all through the ups and downs of your life, they're just going to mean so much to you. Don't just blow your friends away. Don't just become Facebook friends or texting friends. Have that coffee, have the ice cream, spend time with people. That is going to make your life so rich and wonderful. I have friendships that go back 60 years, and it's 50 years. Kim, I have people at the Y that I consider, you are a friend. How great is my life because of that? That's what makes a difference. And own a dog. Get a dog.
Get a dog.
Get a dog.
Or two.
Or, yeah, or in your case, three.
Wonderful, wonderful advice. I love it. So what is an interview question you've never been asked, or something that nobody's ever decided, hey, Madelyn, what about this? Do you have any of those?
I really can't think of anything. I feel like I've been asked a lot. I think one of the reasons I feel that way is because I did run for public office at one time. So you are inundated with questions of all sorts.
Okay.
And if, as long as we're kind of offering advice, if I would also say anybody who might be interested or think they have something that to give should consider public service. I was not successful. I did not attain the office that I run for, but I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. I had a blast. I learned so much. I met great people. It was disappointing to lose. I'm not going to make light of it. It was a hard pill to swallow, but you get a couple years away from you, like, wow, am I glad I did that? So if somebody has an interest in, school board, town board, city council, county ledge, whatever it might be, go for it. We need more women. Certainly need tons more diversity.
Right.
Make it happen and get good advice to make it happen the right way for yourself.
Wonderful. More sage advice. I'm going to give you a shameless plug. Can you tell us a little bit about the Jamboree coming up?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I love
Bring it on, girl. What you got?
Well, I'm going to tell you how it happened. Maybe about 6 weeks ago, I was getting ready to go to work, and I play a lot of loud music when I'm getting ready to go to work. And I started dancing by myself in my bedroom. And I said, you know what? We need to start seeing each other again. We need to get out there. And I strongly believe that Habitat is a joyful, joyful mission. And I said, let's be the leader. Let's get out there. So we are hosting an in-person event, a fundraiser for Schenectady Habitat at the casino. Rivers Casino is being a wonderful sponsor for us and providing us with the location. And we're going to have a DJ, and we're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to
please. I'm going to dance.
Tickets are going to go on sale. No, it's going to have to be safe, and we're going to keep COVID in mind, and we're going to have to distance from people that aren't at our immediate table. It's going to feel a little different, but we're going to be out, and we're going to see friends, and we're going to have a party.
When is it, Madelyn?
June 10th. We're also, for those who want to support Habitat, June 10th from 5:30 to 8:30. The great Jack Arnicki is going to be hosting. I love Jack. We're going to feature wonderful sponsors are coming in to support us. We're going to have artists who are repurposing furniture that they've taken out of our restore. So you're going to see some really creative ideas on what to do with furniture.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. We're doing a parallel event. We are going to be virtual as well as in person because we just don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
And in Habitat Land, our motto is safe, affordable housing. So safe is the first thing we think of. Safe, safe, safe.
Right.
This will be safe. We're not going to, but I just felt it's Habitat for Humanity. Let's get out there and have some fun, have a party, celebrate Schenectady, celebrate how far we've come.
And the end and of a pandemic, hopefully, and people being able to come out and be together as safe as possible.
As safe as possible. So it's June 10th. Tickets are going on sale at SchenectadyHabitat.org very soon.
Okay.
And I will let you know. I'll share that with you when they come on site. The honorary committee is open now. I'm excited, and I'm glad that we're being kind of the leaders of let's get out and see each other again.
Love it.
The Rivers Casino is being so kind.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. They're a great community partner. So 2 more questions, because I know we're both busy, but I want to get these 2 questions in. So because I don't know the answer to this, what is unique to you, or a special talent, or something that excites you? Like, is there something that lots of people don't know about you, or that's unique?
Wow, I'm pretty well out there. I'm not exactly a subtle person. I don't have layers. I'm out there. I do love to dance. I do love to have a good time. I love spending time with my friends. I'm an avid reader. I don't have any special hidden talent. I used to be able to do American Sign Language pretty well, but I haven't used it in years and years. So like any other language, it kind of fades away. I'm very grateful for the life that I'm leading. I am immensely grateful. I am well aware that at my age, this career at Habitat is probably my swan song. And what a great way to close. That does not mean I'm ready to go now. Do not think I'm ready to go. But
I don't.
What a phenomenal way to see the end of a career.
Sure. Yeah. A success, an amazing community organization Habitat is. And Madelyn, even during the pandemic, like you said, you volunteer a lot, but Habitat volunteered as an organization where you were delivering food and packing dinners and up at the Boys and Girls Club. And there you were on this. It's like phenomenal that just because Habitat was not thriving during the pandemic and people weren't coming to buy furniture or building homes at that time, even though you were out doing good for other organizations. I mean,
thank you for that. Thank you for noticing that. And of course, as the board was totally successful behind that. The board was like, it's not the mission, but it's a great and good
mission.
And
you had a vehicle, and so you were like, okay, we've got a van. You weren't like, well, it says Habitat on it, so I can't help you. You just said, we're coming. We're going to take care of this. You called me and said, can I drop the food off? And I'm like, you guys are amazing. So, you know, just I have to give you that.
And I have to say, employees that were saying, okay, nobody said that's not my job. Nobody said we're not going to. They were
we don't do that.
Let's do this thing. And our Habitat volunteers who couldn't volunteer on a build site because we weren't active at the time were volunteering doing this. Again, I mean, it just keeps me from, I see the best of people, Kim. I just see the best.
Shouldn't we all act that way? Shouldn't we all try to find the best in people? Then we might not have a lot of the problems we currently have. So I think that is a great life philosophy. One more question about advice. What is the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I ever received actually came from my mom.
Okay.
Who, at a time in my life when I was beginning to question what I was doing and where I was going, really just told me in her own way was, buck up, one foot in front of the other, have faith in yourself. And as long as you have faith in yourself, really, it wasn't a terrific moment. I just know that my mom's spirit is always with me, and she always had faith in me. So she keeps me going in a lot of ways. She's been going a long time, but she's still with me.
Absolutely, in spirit.
As a matter of fact, I'm wearing mom.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and her earrings too. I was her only daughter, so I cleaned up when she passed away.
I guess so. My goodness.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I forgot, Madelyn.
I'm a little comfortable with you, so I might not be behaving myself as I should, but it's been a sloppy life. It's been slapdash. It's been, there was no career path. I took the road that opened up to me that seemed to be the right road to go on. I've always had fun. The friendships are great. I value and treasure all of my friendships, new and old. Somebody once asked me about my bucket list, and I really don't even have a bucket list. I feel that my life is full and positive, and if I never make it to Paris, that's fine, because I've got to hang out with Kim Siciliano. So what could be better than that, you know?
It's like being in Paris when you're with me.
Just take each moment. The moments are great. The moments are great. Right. You know, being in the vagina monologues with the YW. I've never done anything like that. Never.
Amazing. And your skit was so profound, so perfectly perfect. You and Burt Reynolds.
Included in that. What a great, fun thing to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what I forgot, Madelyn, is I didn't read your bio. You know, do you want me to read this bio, or do you think we covered? I mean, you talked about industrial sales. You talked about being a board member of Habitat. Did I leave anything out, or did we leave anything out? We talked about Ramp Up. I want to give a shout out to Chuck and your 3 children and your 5 perfect grandchildren.
They are perfect. They are perfect. What can I say?
Did we miss anything else that we should, you know, we want to give a shout out to anyone? Is there anything we forgot to talk about with Habitat or with you? I don't want to close out without giving you
Kim, life is good. I'm grateful for the life I lead. I don't want to be all, you know, Mary Poppins and too sunshiny, but how I ever landed here, having this much fun, working with the people I work with, I honestly can't tell you. The network of the other executive directors at Habitat for Humanity are so giving, and they share. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to walk down this road. To anybody who is listening, who chooses to support the YW or Schenectady Habitat or Schenectady, any of these organizations that have a corporate entity, an overseeing entity, make sure when you do support, please support your local zip code.
Perfect suggestion.
Yeah, your local zip code should be on the address. It does help your local community.
Absolutely. Our donors and our friends and our supporters, you're right, that, you know, those are locally, they're right in that community, and they see the work we're doing. And don't forget that when you send a donation or support, that it is to the local establishment, because that's important.
That is important. Kim, I don't know if anybody's looking for anything different from me or something deeper or more meaningful, but
you did fabulous. I just wanted to.
The life has been good. I want it to continue to be good. I've had a couple of bouts with cancer, so I've been tested a few times, and people were just great helping me get through that. None of this happened by myself.
Right.
It's all the collective. It's all the collective. It's all the good people that are around me.
Yep. Well, I've enjoyed seeing you today because we haven't seen each other, and spending time with you because I find you to be one of my kindred sisters out there, doing the work and fighting the fight. And Schenectady is absolutely lucky and blessed to have you and Habitat. And I am as a friend. So I want you to know that too. And I still have the cactus that you made me take. Is here growing, and I named it Madelyn. So a little prickly on the outside, but soft and mushy on the inside.
Kim, I feel the same about you. I feel the same about your team at the YW. The difference you're making every single day is
we're awesome.
We're holding hands. Yeah. Schenectady's going to do all right because of people like you.
You too. Right back at you. Happy dance. We got to do a little happy dance.
And come out and dance on June 10th at the
Absolutely. So again, everybody, YW viewers out there, community viewers, thank you to Madelyn Thorne and Habitat for all the work they do in Schenectady. And we will be coming up with more episodes of The Butterfly Effect, and you just might see Madelyn on the other side hosting and interviewing.
It would be my honor. This has been an honor. I'm so glad that you asked me to participate in it.
So have a wonderful day, everybody out there. And you, Madelyn, keep on doing the work.
Wow. I love you, Kim. Love everybody. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.